you'll join us in the Pledge of Allegiance to our flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you all. And David, before you sit down, we have a proclamation. Dave, bring up everybody. Come on, everybody.
Come on up. So you guys want to step on up to the podium here? Just come on around that way.
Face this way. They're going to take our picture as well.
Oops. Oh. Okay, come on up.
All right.
Y'all in?
Yeah, I'll take that one off there.
There you go.
Great.
Good job. Okay, we have a proclamation today. It's Developmental Disabilities Awareness Month, March 2016. It says, whereas workplaces that welcome the talents of all people, including people with disabilities, are a critical part of our efforts to build an inclusive community. And whereas the United States economy is supported by a workforce that is notable for its diversity. And whereas ensuring that all Americans, including those with disabilities, have the opportunity to reach their full potential will strengthen and maintain the business in Clermont County. And whereas the United States no longer underestimates the abilities of Americans with disabilities due to the signing of the American with Disabilities Act in 1990. And whereas our community strives to raise awareness about disability employment issues and celebrates the many and varied contributions of people with disabilities. And whereas we are proud of the strides we have made in Clermont County and the welcoming of the Governor of Ohio's Employment First initiative, and whereas employment is the key to economic security for Americans and is up to all of us, county and community leaders, employers, and people with disabilities, to break down attitudinal barriers and open business doors to let employees with disabilities in. And whereas we must all think ability, not disability, and encourage others to do the same. Now therefore be proclaimed that we, the Board of Clermont County Commissioners, do hereby proclaim the month of March 2016 as Developmental Disability Awareness Month in Clermont County, Ohio, signed by the Board of Commissioners, myself, David Jubal, and Ed Humphrey. And so on behalf of the Board of Commissioners, since you're standing right here, I want to present this to you. And thank you guys for the wonderful job y'all do. I'm so proud of you. Y'all want to say a few words? Want to say something? No. No? Anybody want to say something?
Dan's going to say something.
All right. Let's give them a hand, though, too. For the... Wait, you don't like me? You're leaving already?
Well, good morning. I'm Dan Otke, Superintendent with the Clermont County Board of Developmental Disabilities. And again, we want to thank the commissioners for this recognition and proclamation this morning. So I'm here with Linda and Brenda and Nikki and Hazel. They are members of the crew that worked out at the Records Department. We're appreciative for the years of service that they've put in and the work that they do down there. And also our partnership with the Records, with Michelle. And certainly it would be amiss if I didn't recognize Kathy Burton, the staff person that also works with them as well. So I want to thank them. So I was doing a little research on this, and actually Ronald Reagan was the first. He actually requested of Congress to identify March as National Developmental Disability Awareness Month back in 1987. And it was really kind of in response to, that was a very transitional time for people with developmental disabilities in our country. Prior to that, it was a very, for individuals with developmental disabilities, many were in very negative institutional settings. You would almost not believe in terms of what people experienced in our country going back 60, 70 years ago. And so where we've come in 30 years is quite amazing. But what I would tell you is we've still got a long way to go, and we're going to continue to do that work. But we are certainly very appreciative of this recognition this morning because it certainly helps us to communicate that message to the residents in Clermont County. So, thank you for that. Thank you to the residents in Clermont County. And certainly thank you to these guys for being able to and willing to come out this morning to help us out. So,
What do you have going on next month?
yeah, well, certainly we do have a levy on the ballot, so I appreciate the opportunity to speak about that. It's a replacement levy of our two continuing levies that were passed, speaking of the 80s, in 1979 and 1980, so they go back a ways. So we're requesting voters in Clermont County to approve that replacement levy, and with doing so, that would certainly provide the resources needed for us to be able to continue our mission and to address some growing waiting lists that we're experiencing. So certainly we are appreciative of support of the residents in Clermont County on issue 5 coming up here on March 15th. So thank you for that opportunity, and certainly thank you for this recognition this morning.
Michelle, why don't you come up and tell us about what they do?
So,
I think people will be very amazed.
Well, it's so nice to be able to recognize this group. I've been here about a year and a half with them, but the program's been going on for about 10 years, and these ladies come in every day and they prepare documents for scanning. So with their help, they remove the staples, they get the files in order so that we can scan them so much more efficiently. Our scanning production would not be near as high without their help. So they're here day in, day out with positive attitudes and dedication, and they brighten our days, and we're extremely grateful for the services they provide to Clermont County and the Record Center especially. So thank you very much.
All right, thank you. Let's all get a picture. And what she didn't have her turn signal on.
yeah, come on, Kathy.
Wrong.
You don't get out that.
You know what? Here. You want to hold that? There you go.
Squeeze in a little bit more.
Yeah, can you get it?
Brenda, step forward just a little. And let Hazel squeeze over there.
Right, we'll take a few pictures. Okay, look here, 1, 2, 3. Do two more. 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3. Excellent, thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Take care now, you guys. Keep up the good work, okay?
Okay.
You keep up the good work. You too.
Thank you
And you are more than welcome, Commissioner.
Thank you guys so much. We really appreciate this. Lara, we do. Let's make sure she gets a picture.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And Dan, when we get the picture, send everything, we'll share them with you.
Okay, sounds great. Yeah, that's what I've done. Awesome. Thank you.
See you guys. Bye. See ya.
See you a week Monday.
Yeah, we'll be back.
And what a great way to start the morning.
Was.
All right, we'll go to item number 2, was this resolution 21-16 for a payment of bills in the amount of $1,260,066. Is there a motion to adopt the resolution?
I'd like to make a motion to pay our bills as referenced in item 2.
Second.
Mr. Ubel?
Yes.
Mr. Proud?
Yay. Connie, good morning. Item 3, please.
Good morning. Connie Tibbetts, the Department of Job and Family Services.
Item number 3 is the recommendation of Judy Eshman, Director of the Department of Job and Family Services, with the concurrence of Stephen H. Rabel, County Administrator, to execute a purchase of service agreement by and between the County of Clermont, Ohio, and One Way Farm of Fairfield Incorporated, out of Fairfield, Ohio, for the provision of group home services for children ages 8 to 21, referred by the Clermont County Department of Job and Family Services and/or Clermont County Juvenile Court at the rates outlined therein, effective January the 1st, 2016 through December 31st, 2016, pursuant to and in compliance with the terms and conditions specified therein, and contingent upon the issuance and receipt of a purchase order required therefore.
Is there a motion then to execute the purchase of service agreement between the county and One Way Farm of Fairfield, Inc. with a contingency as recommended?
I will make the motion.
I'll second that.
Mr. Yubel?
Yes.
Mr. Proud?
Yay. Item 4, please.
Recommendation of Judy Eshman, Director of Department of Job and Family Services, with the concurrence of Stephen H. Rabel, County Administrator, to execute a purchase of service agreement by and between the County of Clermont, Ohio, and United Methodist Children's Home of the West Ohio Conference of the United Methodist Church, doing business as UMCH Family Services, out of Worthington, Ohio, for the provision of adoption services for children in the permanent custody of the Clermont County Department of Job and Family Services, including but not necessarily limited to home study updates, home visits, monitoring supportive services, and providing written supervisory reports to the Clermont County Department of Job and Family Services at the rate of $2,000 upon placement of a child and $3,000 upon court finalization, for a total amount not to exceed $5,000 per child if the adoption is finalized within 365 days of adopted placement, or at the rate of $2,000 upon placement of a child and $2,000 upon court finalization, for a total amount not to exceed $4,000 for a child if the adoption is finalized beyond 365 days of adopted placement. Effective February the 3rd, 2016 through August the 3rd of 2017, pursuant to and in compliance with the terms and conditions specified therein, and contingent upon the issuance and receipt of a purchase order required therefore.
Is there a motion then to execute the reference purchase of service agreement between the county and United Methodist Children's Home of the West Ohio Conference of the United Methodist Church with a contingency as recommended?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Yubel?
Yes.
Mr. Proud?
Yay. Thanks, Connie. Lyle? Item 4, please. Sir?
Morning, I'm Lyle Bloom, Director with the Water Resource Department, and item 5 is a recommendation to authorize the release of maintenance bonds that provided surety for the installation of sewer main extensions to serve the following locations, and to accept said sewer main extensions into the county sewer system pursuant to the Clermont County Water Resource Department rules and regulations. The first is Ross Road in Batavia Township, and the bond amount is $1,250, and the last is O'Reilly Auto Parts Store in Batavia. The sewer bond is the amount of $1,100.
Is there a motion then to authorize release of the reference maintenance bonds and accept the sewer main extensions into our county system as recommended?
I will make the motion.
I'll second that.
Mr. Yubel?
Yes.
Mr. Proud?
Yay. Item 6, please.
Item 6 is a recommendation to authorize the release of maintenance bonds that provided surety for the installation of water main extensions to serve the following subdivisions, and to accept said water main extensions into the county waterworks system pursuant to the Water Resource Department rules and regulations. And the first is the Redbird Meadows subdivision, Phase 1 in Miami Township, and the bond amount is $2,900. The next is Woodbury Glen subdivision, Section 3A in Batavia Township, bond amount is $2,500. And the last, second to last, Terrace Ridge subdivision, Section 4 in Union Township, water bond is $1,500. And the last is Terrace Ridge subdivision, Section 3, Union Township, in the amount of $1,000.
Is there a motion then to authorize release of the maintenance bonds for the water main extensions as referenced and accept the extensions into our system as recommended?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Yubel?
Yes.
Mr. Proud?
Yay. 7, please.
Item number 7 is a recommendation to authorize Stephen H. Rabel, the County Administrator, to execute on behalf of the Board of County Commissioners Clermont County, Ohio, a settlement agreement and release of all claims with Ethel M. Miller in the amount of $7,000 for full settlement of a claim resulting on or about October 27, 2014, pursuant to and in compliance with the terms and conditions set forth.
Is there a motion then to authorize Steve Raybold as the county administrator to execute the settlement agreement and release of all claims as recommended?
Make the motion for item 7.
Second.
Mr. Hubel.
Yes.
Mr. Proud.
Yay. 8, please.
Item number 8 is a recommendation to execute an extension of contract for landfill disposal services between Clermont County and Rumpke of Ohio Incorporated out of Cincinnati, Ohio. This was previously ratified by the board on March 11, 2015 for an additional 1-year period effective March 27, 2016 through March 26, 2017, pursuant to and in compliance with paragraph 5 of the reference contract, with all other terms and conditions to remain in full force and effect, and contingent upon the release of a purchase order required for the contract extension. This is for the disposal of our biosolids. The unit price is $28 per wet ton to landfill the biosolids.
Is there a motion then to execute the extension of contract for landfill disposal services with a contingency as recommended?
I'll make a motion for item 8.
Second.
Mr. Hubel.
Yes.
Mr. Proud.
Yay.
Great, thank you.
Thanks, Lyle.
9, please.
Item 9 is a recommendation of Brandon Hefner, ISD Director of Information Systems Department, with my concurrence to approve electronic subscription renewals for the provision of software and hardware updates and support at the not-to-exceed estimated rates and terms outlined below and set forth in the electronic subscription renewals, all of which are on file in the Information Systems Department, and to authorize the county auditor to remit payment therefore. The vendor is CDWG of Illinois, and this is for our mail security system for the amount of $7,100.
Is there a motion then to approve the reference electronic subscription renewal and authorize the county auditor to make payment as recommended?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Hubel.
Yes.
Mr. Proud.
Yay. And Wade, you have 10, please.
Good morning, all.
Morning.
Agenda item number 10 is a recommendation for myself, Wade Grabowski, Director of Clermont County Facilities Management, with the concurrence of Mr. Stephen H. Rabel, County Administrator, to execute a contract for minor public improvement projects by and between the Board of Commissioners of Clermont County, Ohio, and Peck, Hannaford, and Briggs Service Corporation, Spring Grove Avenue, Cincinnati, for the installation of 3 split HVAC systems at the tower sites located at Loveland, Goshen, and Northern Kentucky, in accordance with the scope of services identified in Exhibit A, attached thereto and made a part thereof, at a cost not to exceed $25,800, with said services to be completed within 90 days of the contractor's receipt of a signed contract and notice to proceed from the Clermont County Facilities Management Department pursuant to and in compliance with the terms and conditions set forth therein, and contingent upon the release of the purchase order required therefore in concert with requisition number 1935-00, dated 1/21/2016. Explanation, this is the redundancy. Originally, when the buildings were constructed at those 3 particular sites, they had a single source of HVAC. This is a redundancy for backup purposes.
Is there a motion then to execute contract for minor public improvement projects between the Commissioners and Peck, Hannaford, and Briggs Service Corporation with a contingency as recommended?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Hubel.
Yes.
Mr. Proud.
Yay. And 11, please.
Number 11 is a recommendation for myself, Wade Grabowski, Clermont County Facilities Management, with the concurrence of Mr. Stephen H. Rabel, County Administrator, to execute a contract for professional services by and between the Board of Commissioners of Clermont County, Ohio, and KBA Incorporated, Architects, Ferguson Drive, Suite 200, Cincinnati, Ohio, for architectural, building, design, construction, oversight, and project management services relative to the Clermont County Domestic Relations Clerk Building, project in accordance with the scope of services identified in Exhibit A attached thereto and made a part thereof in an amount not to exceed $41,750, with said services to be completed within 365 days of the company's receipt of a signed contract and notice to proceed from the Clermont County Facilities Management Department, pursuant to and in compliance with the terms and conditions set forth therein.
Is there a motion then to execute the contract for professional services between the Commissioners and KBA Incorporated Architects as recommended?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Hubel.
Yes.
Mr. Proud.
Yay.
Wait, what's the schedule on that work? Are going to be architectural work, and then where do things go from there?
Yeah, we're actually, with the particular design that we've been looking at, we're hoping to have them in yet 2016 calendar year. It's a pretty aggressive schedule, but with the information that Mr. Raybold has received and with the preliminary conversations with the architect, we don't think that that's unattainable. It's aggressive, but we know that the architect has done some preliminary homework. The contract is now in place. Now they can proceed with the actual architectural standards that they need to put in place.
Are we actually expanding on the footprint of the domestic
No,
relations? Court, or
actually, the
just
history of this
remodeling?
project, what it is the history of this project, several years ago, we leased from William Scotsman 3 individual partial trailers, if you will. That's outlived its usefulness, and it's not, it's
Modulars.
modular homes, yes, 3 together. What this is we're going to, the biggest obstacle that we have is the security portion of keeping the folks that are in there safe. And as we know that when we have a deputy that's hired, that's an operational cost that we're not able to come up with. So we're going to attach this building to the domestic juvenile court building, which already has 2 deputies. So we'll use that as an access point, and that will be the security for this particular building.
Okay.
So operationally, we're going to save that 70 or 75,000, I think it is, for each deputy, you know, when we have them hired in a place like the medical building, for example. I always forget that.
Yeah, I know that you also have plans to use those modulars, too, don't you?
Yes, we've had some interest, and we have suggested, as part of a gun range project, they're ecstatic. Captain Camp House was visiting them, and they think they'll serve their purpose fine. Fortunately, we were able to keep the tires that are in demand for people making trailers. We've kind of hit them, and they're able to. We'll have to pay for a truck, probably, I don't know, $1,200–1,300 to relocate them. I checked with the township, and because it's not going to be an occupied building, we will not have to go with the permanent foundation like we did up there. So that's still within that township. So hopefully that'll serve everybody's purposes, and they'll be happy, and we'll have a new building.
So it's not just the domestic relations, but it's also the juvenile court will be improved as well.
Well, this is a domestic clerk building which services domestic court. However, it'll be attached to both their buildings for security purposes.
Okay.
So the deputies can be utilized in those locations that they're existing, and then we won't have any more operational cost.
Got it.
Yeah, because juvenile court, the judges, they're their own clerk,
Yeah, that is correct.
so,
That is correct.
yeah, so eventually, but that's going to happen too.
Great.
Thank
Thanks,
you
Mike.
very much.
Good morning.
Good morning. 12, please.
Andy Kupta, Community and Economic Development. This is a recommendation to execute the First Amendment to the Enterprise Zone Agreement with Consolidated Mineral Supply and GDL Holdings. The agreement was previously ratified by the board on 8/23/11 for the granting of a 60% tax exemption for 7 years on real property improvements made as part of the project. This will amend Section 4 of the Enterprise Zone Agreement to revise the exemption start date from 12/31/14 to 12/31/15, with no change to the expiration date of 12/31/20, which will reduce the exemption period from 7 years to 6 years. So, to sum it up, even though I tried to do that already, the company took longer than the 3 years they were given in the Enterprise Zone Agreement to construct their building. They just ran into issues with the contractor and the site and everything else. And so they requested to get this amended so they can actually take advantage of the tax abatement that was approved. Otherwise, they would have been out of compliance and the abatement would have had to be terminated. So this puts them back in compliance by extending their finish date, but cuts off a year from the tax abatement. So we're not extending that either. I thought that was a fair solution. Miami Township trustees have already taken action on it.
Is there a motion then to execute the First Amendment to the Reference Enterprise Zone Agreement as recommended?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Hubel?
Yes.
Mr. Proud?
Yay. Thanks, Andy. 13, please.
Item 13 is a recommendation of Pat Munger, County Engineer, with my concurrence to execute record plat number 629-2960 for the following subdivision located in Goshen Township, and execute a combined performance and maintenance bond as well as a performance bond for sidewalks as surety for same. This is Woodlands Reserve Subdivision, Section 1, Block A in Goshen Township. Performance bond $22,000 and $10,000, and performance bond for sidewalks of $31,440.
Is there a motion then to execute the referenced record plat and the combination bond as recommended?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Hubel?
Yes.
Mr. Proud?
Yay. 14, please.
14 is my recommendation to authorize the issuance of a procurement card for Deborah Fannin, an employee of the Clermont County Juvenile Court, and authorize Robert L. Plow, President of the Commissioners, to execute a request for the issuance of a procurement card relative thereto, pursuant to the Clermont County Procurement Card Policy and Procedures adopted by the Board of County Commissioners on 6/22/05 and amended on 3/28/07 and 9/24/14.
Okay, is there a motion then to execute the request for the issuance of the procurement card as recommended?
I'll make a motion for item 14.
I'll second that.
Mr. Yubel?
Yes.
Mr. Prout?
Yay. 15, please.
Item 15 is my recommendation to authorize Commissioner Proud, President of the Board, to execute a Time Warner Cable Business Class Agreement with Time Warner Cable out of Columbus, Ohio, in conjunction with the Time Warner Cable Business Class Service Agreement ratified by the Board of County Commissioners on 8/12/2015 for the provision of 10 megabyte dedicated internet service, business class phone, and unlimited local and long distance, and 10 gigabyte email basic for the Clermont County Water Resources Department, Felicity Wastewater Treatment Plant, at a rate of $104.98 per month, plus all applicable fees relative thereto, as well as a one-time installation fee of $99.95, effective upon execution for a period of 36 months, pursuant to compliance with the terms and conditions set forth therein.
Is there a motion then to execute the reference Time Warner Cable Business Class Order as recommended?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Yubel?
Yes.
Mr. Prout?
Yay. 16, please.
16 is a recommendation of Chris Willis, Chief Deputy County Sheriff, with my concurrence to execute Amendment Number 2 to the contract with Combined Public Communications out of Kentucky for an inmate phone system for Clermont County Jail, previously ratified by the Board of County Commissioners on 8/23/11, and subsequently extended for 8/20/14 for additional 3-year period, effective 8/23/14 through 8/22/17. This is to accept the changes required by the stated contract, which amends the rates for prepaid calling cards and direct pay, as stated therein, pursuant to compliance with the Federal Communications Commission Order of 12/18/2015, and as it relates thereto. In all other respects, the terms and conditions of the initial contract and extension therefore shall remain full force and effect. This is essentially a paperwork update based on requirements from the FCC.
Is there a motion then to execute Amendment Number 2 to the contract with Combined Public Communications, Inc. as recommended?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Yubel?
Yes.
Mr. Prout?
Yay. Suki, you have 17?
Do. 17 is a recommendation of the Board of County Commissioners to adopt Resolution Number 22-16, which is amending Resolution Number 18913, ratified by the Board on December 18th of 2013. In that resolution, we authorize the auditor to issue warrants in order to make payments in time based on our contracts and things for utility bills, reimbursement of our claims, our health insurance claims, as well as refunds of overpayments so that the customers don't have to wait that long. What we're doing with this resolution is adding one more item to that, which is the cable and internet service, because those also have due dates that they won't waive the late penalty if we can't get them paid on time. So that what'll happen, the auditor will issue the warrant, and then as we're doing with the other types of payments, it'll come back to the board for ratification after the fact.
Is there a motion then to adopt Resolution Number 22-16 as recommended?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Yubel?
Yes.
Mr. Prout?
Yay. Thank you. Yvonne, you have item 18?
Good morning. Yvonne Smith, Benefit Plan Coordinator. It's my recommendation with the concurrence of Stephen H. Raybolt, County Administrator, to approve the Clermont County Section 125 Premium Conversion and Flexible Benefit Plan documents adopted on April 1st of 1992 and amended on August 14th of 2013 and again on March the 5th of 2014, which outlines the terms and conditions for offering pre-tax benefits to all eligible Clermont County employees and their dependents under Section 125 of the IRS Benefits Cafeteria Plan. And this will be effective January 1st of 2016 through December 31st of 2016, pursuant to terms and conditions set forth therein.
Is there a motion then to approve the Clermont County Section 125 Premium Conversion and Flexible Benefits Plan documents as recommended?
I'll make a motion for item 18.
I'll second that.
Mr. Yubel?
Yes.
Mr. Prout?
Yay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item 19, please.
Item 19, requests from various departments to join professional organizations and to authorize payment of the annual dues, the amounts outlined below, pursuant to Section 325.21 of the Ohio Revised Code, and to authorize reimbursement of routine travel expenses associated therewith. We have the County Recorder's Office, Debbie Klepper, and our staff, the Ohio Recorders Association for $2,298.28. The Clermont County Water Resources Department, Hannah Lubers, Wastewater Management Association of Ohio for $85, and the Soil and Water Conservation Society for $90. The entire Public Defender's Office, the National Association of Public Defense Lawyers for $500. I'll get there. Last one, we have the Clermont County Municipal Court, Adult Probation Department, Joe Ellison, the Ohio Chief Probation Officers Association for $150.
The motion then to approve joining the referenced professional organizations, authorized payment of the dues, and also reimbursement of routine travel expenses is recommended.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Yubel?
Yes.
Mr. Proud?
Yay.
I didn't know Steve Haynes' first name was Willard. His new
He
nickname.
probably didn't want you to know that.
Yeah. Get to the official records, those things are discovered.
Wow. All right, travel requests, item 20, please.
Item 20 is a recommendation to approve the following blanket travel requests for reimbursement of eligible expenses for participation with the following elected officials and our departments and our staff, and as it relates to reimbursement of routine travel expenses associated therewith. We have the County Recorder's Office, Debbie Klepper, and our staff for the Ohio Recorders Association, and the Clermont County Municipal Court Adult Probation Department, Joe Ellison, and our staff for the Ohio Chief Probation Officers Association.
So motion then to approve the travel requests as recommended.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Yubel?
Yes.
Mr. Proud?
Yay. Welcome back. 21, please.
21's our financials for the week. First, we have our budget transfers in the pilot probation intensive fund from fringe benefits to other expenses, $3,000. Also in that same fund from fringe benefits to overtime, $3,500. That's because they had a change in the grant person in their fringe selection, so they're moving that available grant money to other places for expenditures on the grant. Then in the recorder, we have a retirement, so we're moving money from regular salaries to retirement payout, $1,032. Again, in pilot probation for their other grant, for the same reason, we've got in the pilot probation non-support, from fringe benefits to other expenses, $2,000. And then finally, we have treasurer's delinquent tax from regular salaries to overtime, $4,500. That's to pay for the deputy that provided security during tax collection week. In our cash transfers, we have from general fund to the sheriff police revolving fund, $277,831. This is the local match of the contract deputies. We're putting it in the fund where we pay the contract deputies from. And then from general fund to the narcotics unit fund, $50,000. This is our annual contribution to support the narcotics group.
Is there a motion then to approve the budget transfers and the cash transfers as recommended?
Yeah, I'll make a motion for item 21.
Second.
Mr. Yubel?
Yes.
Mr. Proud?
Yay. And our training and travel, 22.
We have the Clermont County Municipal Court, Jamie Ludson, 3 days, Columbus, Ohio, for the Ohio Justice Alliance for Community Corrections, total expenses not to exceed $300. County Sheriff's Office, William Welch, 3 days, Blue Ash, Ohio, for Cincinnati Hamilton County Homeland Security Blue Ash Police Training, Law Enforcement Active Shooter Emergency Response Training, not to exceed $0. Matt Farmer, 7 days, Blanco, Georgia, for Federal Law Enforcement Training Center, United States Marshal Service Court Security Seminar, not to exceed $900. And Nicholas Crouch, 2 days, Covington, Ohio, for the Covington Police Department course entitled Child Death and Homicide Investigation, not to exceed $150. Clermont County Water Resources Department, Dwight Culbertson, 1 day, Wilmington, Ohio, the American Water Works Association, Section 29, Southern Expo, not to exceed $10. Department of Job and Family Services, Kevin O'Brien, 3 days, Newark, Ohio, the Ohio Council on Welfare Fraud Annual Training Conference, not to exceed $338. Department of Public Safety Services, Dominic Dalton, Mark Henriquez, Mabel Shepard, and Sandra Snyder, 1 day, West Carrollton, Ohio. First line supervision, not to exceed $620. Board of County Commissioners, Telecommunications Division, Jeff Weaver, 6 days, Cincinnati, Ohio, for the BIC SI Information and Communications Technology Installation Program Training and Certification Exam, not to exceed $2,405.61. And the Board of County Commissioners, Robert Sander, 1 day, Hamilton, Ohio, for the American Public Works Association Butler County Public Office Works Safety Update Meeting, not to exceed $41.04. And Steve Raybold, 1 day, Lebanon, Ohio, for the Ohio Transportation Federal Aviation Administration Workshop, estimated to exceed 0.
Is there a motion then to approve our training and travel requests as recommended?
I'll make a motion for item 22.
Second that.
Mr. Yubel?
Yes.
Mr. Proud?
Excuse me. Yay. Personal actions, 23, please.
This week we have in the Department of Job and Family Services, Joyce Selby, Maintenance Worker 3, termination resignation effective 2/25. Tom Schaefer, Maintenance Worker 3, termination resignation effective 2/24. Gina Niederkorn, Computer Operator 2, end of probation effective 3/7. Tracy Williams, Computer Operator 2, probation, end of probation effective 3/7. Kelsey Schadenfeld, Social Service Worker 3, new hire to a vacant position effective 3/14. The Water Resources Department, Anthony Meek, rehire, reinstall from disability separation effective 2/22. Ty Saunders, promotion effective 2/22. John Brown, WRD Operator 1, new hire to vacant position effective 2/29. David Durfasine, Maintenance Worker Technician 1, new hire, vacant position effective 2/29. And Brenda Barrett, WRD Lab Tech, new hire, vacant position effective 2/29.
Is there a motion then to approve the personal actions as recommended?
I'll make a motion to approve the personnel actions.
I will second that.
Mr. Yubel?
Yes.
Mr. Proud?
Yay. Do you have any add-ons?
Yes, sir.
No executive
No.
session?
No executive session.
Okay, we'll take a 5-minute recess for the minutes. All right, we'll let the record show that the board came out of recess and resumed its regular session. And David, we have the minutes before us, and when you're ready to make a motion to approve,
I will make a motion to approve the minutes from regular session from February 17th, 2016.
I'll second that.
Mr. Yubel?
Yes.
Mr. Proud?
Yay. Is there anything else?
Yes, sir.
All right, is there a motion to adjourn today's session?
I'll make the motion to adjourn.
I'll second that.
Mr. Yubel?
Yes.
Mr. Proud?
Yay. Again, thank you all. God bless.